Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and there's another paid request, this time for James. And I was thinking of separating these two, but I figured I'll just put them in one video. James wanted me to review two more episodes of Cobra Kai, Season 1, Episodes 2 and 3. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topic, reaction, tier list, commentary, re-review, review, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Links are in the info box wherever it's all here on YouTube now. It could be for pretty much any type of video. And episode 2, we start with Ralph Macchio, focusing on him to the song Ain't That a Kick in the Head. We see he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got friends at work, successful car business, and meanwhile William Zabka is trying to train this guy Miguel. Now, I mentioned I had some misgivings about William Zabka and him being the lead and him being the focus, because I'm like, I never really cared about Johnny and what's going on with his life, and a show focusing on him. Although I will say, when you populate the show with so many characters that are so less interesting or more annoying or more that teen dickless, joyless annoyance personality, I guess it's kind of easy to like William Zabka and go, well, I'd rather hang out with him than these folks. And Ralph Macchio is kind of just more the meh dad at this point. I mean, I like Ralph Macchio. I liked him in the first two Karate Kid films. I even liked him in, what was it, Beer League? I think it was that film with Artie Lane. And My Cousin Vinny. So far, again, he's kind of he's really a dunce. Like, he's a dunce that really does not dip what's going on. I know that's the point. But it's just that I just get annoyed at his stupidity. I'm sure that's the whole damn point, but I'm like, just how he's going about things, because we know what he doesn't know, and of course because of his history, because of his past, he's thinking on things, which is understandable, but we know that he's in the wrong, so we just keep thinking of him as a dumbass inadvertently because of that. And I don't know, just a weird thing. It's a weird thing, a weird feeling to think of who is your lead, the Karate Kid, acting like an idiot because we know how wrong he is at this point. And again, I can understand it because of his history, and you can't really blame him because of what happened back in the day and almost getting killed and bullied and all that. So I can't blame him for his misgivings on Cobra Kai and Johnny because of the past. It's just that because we, the audience, know what's really going on, like, in a weird way, he's kind of the antagonist inadvertently. And it is like, because that one stupid video of, well, he was really the bully. So it's like, well, let's take that and not quite do it, but kinda, but not really. And I hated that video altogether. I think it's one of the worst videos out there. It was one of the dumbest videos to say that Daniel Larusso was the bully. And that's what pissed me off, that dumbass video with horrible, I mean, I did his views, but to me, they were just garbage views. And yet that got so much attention and so many views and so much. So yeah, jealousy is definitely a part of it. Like, really? You could just say this dumb thing and get all this praise? Okay. Go figure. But then you look at the other characters, like Miguel is alright, I will say. Of the kids, I would say he's the best one so far. But, like, Ralph Macchio has this fat-ass kid who's a twerp, who won't get off his video game. and the character seems like a twerp. Miguel's friends, one's a smart ass that I just want to punch in the face. One seems fine. He just made fun of because his face was like he hit the lawnmower. Just I think that's actually a line someone says. Rob Macho's daughter is a bitch who wants to get in with the in crowd, so she screws over other friends. She has this overweight uh, female friend that she kind of screws over as well. So again, Rob Macho has a twerp fat ass son, a unlikable bitchy daughter, who invites all her friends to his place. Although, and I hate his wife too. Rob Macho should get divorced. His character should get divorced from this lady, because there's all these strangers in his home, in his pool, and what's the common sense thing to do? What's the right thing to do? Get the hell out of Dodge. What are you doing here? Why are you wearing my clothes? Why are you using my pool? Why have you broken into my house? And the wife gets mad at him. Well, you shouldn't have done that because you embarrassed her and she should be. I think that's what they're going for, because you hear the wife talk about how it's fine for her to be with the popular crowd, and maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're going for the fact of, yeah, this is what Rob Macho's character has become, and this is what because of his wife, this is who his daughter's become, and that's where he needs to get back to his roots. If that's where they're going with, okay, then I guess the destination will be more enjoyable than the journey. Because as of right now, I hate his family. Rob Macho's family is so unlikable and so irritating that no wonder people would like Johnny more. Because at least Billy Zapka has a couple funny lines like, "What, you want these guys to think you're a wineless dork?" He says that one time to Miguel. Or, "Don't listen to that music crap. Get some Guns N' Roses or some stuff." And just being on PC. So because of that, because of being on PC and being a bit more of a fun character, again, in terms of what he's willing to say and not holding back, yeah, I can see why people would gravitate towards him, because they made him the more interesting character. And then he has a son named Robbie who has dealt with an illegal drug called Molly. And of course, when he gets the phone call, William Zacher doesn't know what that is. He thinks that's a woman. He doesn't know that's a drug. Rob Macho's daughter, Sam, is going out with Kyler, her new boyfriend. Kyler's the same guy that beat the hell out of Miguel. When she invites him to dinner with Daniel Larusso and the family, Kyler says, "Oh yeah, these bruises, it wasn't a kid. It was a guy running some blonde guy," and blames it on Johnny. So at the end of the episode 2, he goes to see Johnny, confronts him, warns him, and then thankfully Johnny tells him, "Oh yeah, well he's going on with your daughter, huh? Well, he's the one that beat the hell out of this guy. Like 4-on-1, 5-on-1, really fair, right?" And now, at least LaRusso takes that a bit seriously and looks into it in episode 3, where he's trying to look after his daughter. There's like a Halloween party, he becomes a chaperone for it. Okay, I liked in episode 3, they make fun. I don't want to say they're making fun of it, but they do mention like the little bit of the PC Android schools where, well, instead of sexy nurse, maybe try gender neutral hospital employee. And you have all the kids laugh at it because it is such a dumb notion. Episode 3, you definitely get more of Miguel training. He's getting more intense in training. At one point, training him in the pool, kick him in the pool, hold him in the pool, make him fight for it, kicking boards. Until ultimately, with the party, the guy has a crappy costume, so Johnny gives him the skeleton costume that was from the first movie. Of course, Daniel Larusso sees that, has PTSD flashes. Granted, I mean, there's a part of me that figured he would have gotten a little bit over it. Doesn't have to be entirely, but look, because you did fight to the death in Karate Kid Part 2. I think that would be even more, you know, in your memory bank. But at the same time, I did, school. But it's one. I did it. I mean, we've all had bad times at schools. But granted, there was a time that they tried to kill him as well when they were wearing the skeleton costumes, and then Miyagi had to save him. So I won't give it that much crap that he, has these little almost PTSD flashes. Miguel overhears some bad things that the one guy Kyler's saying. He tries to beat him up, but then he gets his ass whooped, and Johnny finds him in the bathroom. And then the episode ends. Now, it seems like through the season, it's going to be more and more people going to go to Cobra Kai, and they're going to try to be more and more successful. And Daniel's going to wear the damn white again, and the bandana again, and all that stuff. When really, he's kind of fighting for the wrong side. I get that people will say, well, that's about, character development, and not just having the same old, and trying to have a bit more creative storytelling. I guess for me, I just never needed that with the Karate Kid. That never interested me. That never intrigued me. And that's why the whole concept of this show just never intrigued me. I just like Karate Kid, I always thought it was a series that was a franchise that was limited, and in my opinion was just 2 movies. Just like the third one sucks. The fourth one is watchable. I don't think it's not as god awful as people make it out to be, in my opinion. I thought it was watchable. I mean, there's goofy stuff in it, don't get me wrong, but I could watch it as a time waster. The remake, I like Jackie Chan in it, but Jaden Smith is terrible, and it's way too damn long. Way too damn long. But yeah, I always thought I just needed 2 movies and that's it. So, I mean, the positives, like I said, I like some of Johnny Lawrence's, some of William Zabka's lines of dialogue. They got a chuckle out of me. I did like in episode 3 when he's happy about Miguel's music choice, which is Rat. So it's nice to hear Rat. Some of the references to 80s stuff, I didn't like the first episode. He's watching Iron Eagle. I did in episode 3 hearing the song from Rat. That's nice to see. Rob Macho, I don't think he does a bad job. Some people said he was terrible. He gave an awful performance. I don't think Rob Macho gave an awful performance. I thought it was fine. Maybe it's just one of those things that it's nice to see him. And you definitely get more of him than you did in episode 1. I can't really say I'm big on what they're doing with his character. I did it though. Like, do you want to just see the same thing over and over again? I understand that. I do. It's just that I'm not really intrigued by his story, because all it's going to be is that he's going to find out how much of an idiot he is, how much of a moron he is, and okay, how much time is that going to take? We're just waiting for that shoe to fall. Okay, well, he's got to realize he's a dumbass. Countdown, 5, 4, 3. So I would say I guess the characters of Johnny and Miguel, honestly, that's the best part of it so far, is between John and Miguel, where Miguel almost has this, not quite worship, but like this respect for Johnny, will listen to whatever he says. And Johnny, like, this is kind of new to him and trying to train him and all this stuff. I would say that's the most interesting part. I'll give it that. Watch episode 2 and 3. So I could kind of see how I kind of wish Ralph Macchio wasn't in it. There's a part of me that kind of wishes Ralph Macchio was not in this show. Or maybe at least this season. And then maybe like season 2, maybe at season 1 end, there's a reveal and it was Ralph Macchio. But not done in like a crappy Force Awakens Last Jedi way. But yeah, part of me is like, I kind of would, because I don't, to deal with his annoying bitchy family. I didn't. His wife just bud the hell out of me. Like, you're mad that he's mad that a bunch of strangers are in your house and in your pool. Okay, fine. Next time they come over, don't tell them to go in your panty drawer and take them. Sell them on eBay. How about them apples, bitch? So again, people say I'm not fair. Johnny has grown on me a little bit just because he's more interesting than the other characters. And Miguel, I don't mind. I don't know, because Miguel is just a guy who's just innocent. I mean, there's the joke where he's training, but his family thinks he's jerking off. Okay. I'm sure people will find that funny. I'm like, I kind of just rolled my eyes on it. But as is, the only slight interest I have right now is the stuff between Johnny and Miguel. Is I'd probably say I found it. I'd probably say I found these episodes a little bit more interesting than episode 1. But man, like, I don't know about a lot of these other teenage characters, man. Robbie, we've just been introduced to him in episode 2. So we don't really know much about him other than he hasn't seen much of his dad, and Johnny really hasn't been there for him. Again, Sam, Rabacio's daughter, just seems like a likable bitch. I can understand though, watching it, you're like, I'm a little bit intrigued as to what happens next. So that means it must be doing at least a little bit of something right, instead of just being completely 100% nonplussed about it. And I always kept thinking it was a Netflix, but I always forget that the first season was a YouTube Red thing. So like they had the first episode at least for free, or maybe the first couple episodes, and then you'd have to pay YouTube to see more of the episodes. And then Netflix got the show for later on. And obviously very successful. Although I don't understand why season 6 they're separated into what, 3 parts? That's really dumb. But you know, it is what it is. But I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again, James, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.